Hey guys, me Dave. It's 11/7/2022, so not much going on with me, but I will talk about the stuff. I shouldn't say there's nothing going on. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm stressed out. you know, stressed out. Gotta deal with bills and everything else that we have to deal with, and then we're dealing with our targeting on top of it and stuff. I want to remind you guys, don't take anybody's word, even my word. Don't take anybody's word for anything. I still have a cough. Always do your research, especially when it comes to conspiracy type stuff. And some of these doctors that are talking on YouTube and BitChute and everything else, always do your research. Some of these guys are not credible. They're proving wrong and everything else. They talk about the stuff that's going on today and all this stuff with you know what and everything else. Always do your research. Always do your research. People swear on the world's going to end tomorrow and all this stuff, but if you do research on this stuff's been proven wrong, and they will explain. Some people say, "Oh, the pyramid on the dollar bill and the New World Order on the dollar bill." So do your research on that, because they will explain why the dollar bill says the New World Order on it, and just like the UN stuff and all this conspiracy stuff, there is an explanation for it. We have a lot of TIs talking nonsense out there. Always do your research. Do your research before you believe any of these guys, because they talk nonsense. They act like the world's ending, and really, nothing's happening. They've been talking about this for 30, 40 years, you guys. Nothing's happening, They will explain what what they're getting their facts from, and all this stuff, and stuff. So, can you believe what's going on? Can you believe what's going on, you guys? Can you believe what's going on? Can you believe what's going on? We are getting somewhere. We really are getting somewhere, you guys. We are getting somewhere. Some people say there is no Havana syndrome and all this stuff. There is Havana syndrome. you know, and we can use that as our power when we encounter police and medical staff and everything else. We could say we're a victim of Havana syndrome. I'll tell you something. I called 911 and I said I'm a victim of Havana syndrome, and she says I know what that is. I know what that is. So if you ever encounter police or medical staff that want to lock you up or whatever, you can say you're a victim of Havana syndrome. How can you lock me up? I'm talking about legitimate, credible stuff here. They might still lock you up, but you're talking about credible stuff here that's going on in the world. Now the FBI is getting hit. CIA is getting hit. Diplomats are getting hit. There was even a cabinet member in the Trump administration that got hit. A cabinet member in the Trump administration that got hit. We are going on three presidents. This started in 2016 under Obama, then Trump, now Biden. These attacks have been going on as long as I've been targeted. I got targeted in 2015. So these attacks started in 2016. I was being horribly tortured in 2016. I was in a treatment center and they were torturing me 14 hours a day and everything else. So, are they doing this for TIs? Are they doing it for TIs? Are they doing it for TIs around the world? Not just us in the US. Are they doing it for TIs around the world? There's a lot of us suffering out there, you guys. They want us living in misery. A lot of us are suffering. They're hating our kids. They're hating our pets. They're killing our pets. People are dying. Do they want this stopped? Do they want it brought out? What is going on? really, what is going on? What is the purpose of this? But I'll tell you something, they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop. They're not stopping for anybody. And the big dog knows that they're not going to stop. And they even said it on camera. These attacks aren't going to stop. They're not going to stop. And it's true, they're not going to stop. There's thousands and thousands of government workers that have been hit. Thousands. Okay, now how many TIs are there? There's probably 3,000 online. How many offline? Well, we really don't know how many there are. Some say millions. Some say 10,000 around the world. Some say 3,000 online. We really don't know the numbers of true TIs that are real and all this stuff. You go to a rally and there's 20 people there. What is that? That's nothing. Half of them are perps, you guys. So we really don't know how many TIs, but it's around the world, and we know that. And somebody is trying to bring this out. Somebody's trying very hard to bring this out. Okay, I should see if I can find that article. If I could show you that article that I watched. I'll see if I can find it here. Maybe I can play it for you guys. These guys aren't messing around. They want the message out. They want the message out. This is from. I'll show you the article. I'll show you it right now.
We're talking about Havana syndrome, and now the FBI is coming forward and finally acknowledging its very existence. NBC News national security correspondent Ken Delaney joins us now. First off, Ken, I think I want to just take a step back for our entire audience and first explain what Havana syndrome is, what it is, who it's affecting, and what specifically the FBI is now saying about its existence.
Sure, Morgan. So Havana syndrome is a mysterious set of symptoms that has afflicted CIA officers and diplomats abroad. It got its name because it appeared to have started in the embassy in Cuba in 2016, although now we're learning that some cases may go back before that. The context here is that we've previously reported at NBC News that there have been FBI cases, but the FBI has never acknowledged that FBI agents are suffering from some of these symptoms. Recently, I obtained an email exchange between the FBI and a former agent who's been suffering from almost daily migraines and dizziness since an experience he had at a country near Russia, and he was trying to get some treatment and some testing, and the FBI basically told him in an email there are no medical programs for current and former employees to get treatment for Havana syndrome. So they basically slammed the door on this former agent who just wanted to be tested. And when I asked the FBI about this, the Bureau told me in a statement that the email I obtained did not reflect their current policy. The statement said, quote, "While the FBI does not have the authority to provide direct medical treatment, we now have a process to guide current and former employees to the interagency medical treatment and evaluation options that are available to them." And so that basically was the first public acknowledgement by the FBI that the Bureau may have its own Havana syndrome cases within its ranks.
And Ken, talk to us, though, about timing here, because the truth is the FBI has been investigating the source of Havana syndrome for several years. So why did it take so long for the Bureau to really make sure that its own employees had access to this medical care?
It's a great question. I can tell you that a lot of agencies have been slow to respond to their own employees who have reported symptoms. Sources tell us the CIA and the State Department have only recently gotten their acts together on this issue. So it's not surprising to me that the FBI bureaucracy didn't have a good plan to deal with its own people. This is a really mysterious and vexing situation, and some officials believe it's been exaggerated. The FBI's vaunted profiling unit issued a report a few years ago asserting that the symptoms were psychogenic, meaning essentially that it was all in the heads of the victims. Morgan, I have spoken to some of these victims, and I can assure people that these symptoms are very real, whatever is causing them.
All right, NBC's Ken Delaney, and there for us live from Washington. Ken, thank you so much.
Okay, so they're running into
So a little breaking news out of Houston here. I want to show you this moment.
They're running into the same problem we're running into. Okay, they are the diplomats and the FBI, even the CIA and everything else. They're running into the problems of they're saying it's all in our heads. They're we're hearing crickets and sounds and pressure in our head and everything else, which I felt throughout my targeting. So is it a cover up? It is a cover up. They're not going to admit this stuff. And the attacks are going to continue. They're still going to do the attacks. You know. You know. This is our government at its best, not backing CIA agents and FBI agents and everything else. They want to say it's all in our head and everything else, and it's not anything. That guy got hit near Russia or whatever. It's not Russia. We know that. They're protecting someone. So is there a civil war going on in government? People want to mind control us and control everyone and everything else. And some people want to bring this out. Is there a civil war against powerful people in government? This is not going to go away. I would say within 2 or 3 years, you guys, this is really going to be blown out. This is going to be blown out. I've said for the last 3 years, something big's happening. Something big is happening. I said that a few years ago. I feel it. I feel something big is happening right now. I never expected this. I never expected government workers being hit with the same weapons we are being hit with. And they're doing voice to skull with crickets and everything else. Cricket sounds and everything else, other sounds too, tinnitus and everything else. They're doing V2K, obviously. So, they're going to deny this as long as they can until there's thousands and thousands of victims, which have come forward already. They're going to demand justice. They're going to demand something be done about this. They're going to demand Congress get off their goddamn ass and do something about this. Right now, Congress isn't doing anything. They're blowing it off like nothing. Okay? They're hating domestically FBI agents. Okay, what if they start going after the perps? Nobody will care about that. That's not going to get news media. But what if they start going after our perps to stop this? Somebody wants this out. Somebody wants this stopped, and they're not stopping, and they're not afraid of anybody. They got power. They got power, you guys. Whoever is doing this has a hell of a lot of power, and they got big balls. They got big balls. And they're not afraid. They're not afraid of anybody. Not afraid of anybody. And they know they're untouched and they're powerful. And the government knows they're powerful, and that's why they're trying to cover it up. So, this is a big step for TIs. Eventually, they're going to have to admit, or they're going to have to acknowledge, TIs, we've been complaining about this for 10 years. They're going to have to acknowledge us eventually. They're going to have to realize that there's regular TIs complaining about this. We got to get the perps out of there. The perps are going to be writing these people talking nonsense and talking crazy talk and everything else. That's what they do to discredit us. but we are real and we can prove it. All you have to do is scan our brains and give us an MRI and all this stuff. They'll be able to tell that we're real victims if they test us. They'll be able to tell we're real victims. So the perps really don't have a leg to stand on. They can sit there and say, "Oh, we can go up there. Oh, we're mental. Oh, the aliens are doing this to us and all this stuff." They can talk nonsense like that and stuff like that, but real TIs, if they test us and go get medical help and everything else, they can tell that we're being hit with these weapons. They can tell there's certain eye movement that they can tell, and there's certain brain scans they can tell that we're being hit with these weapons. So they're eventually going to have to listen to us. Eventually, it might take 2 or 3 years for that to happen, but these attacks aren't going to stop, you guys. They're not going to stop, and the government's going to have to do something. They're going to have to do something, you know. But this is out in the media, and it's out there, and it's continuing to be out there, and that's what's going on. So anyway, I'm going to cut this off. I hope you guys doing well. I still feel like crap, you guys. I have a cough and everything else. I'm going to go to bed here pretty quick. But anyway, so I hope you guys doing well, and I'll talk to you guys later.